everybody, my name is Brittany Hagen and I have the pleasure of introducing you to my topic today. It's called Communicating with Technology, and oddly enough I am not able to join you directly today. I had something come up where I needed to go to Texas with my grandparents, and luckily because of technology Donnelly was able to let me still present and share information with you at a distance. So that is really the big message I want to share with you today, is that technology, it should be something that makes your life more efficient, that makes you save time. Teachers are busy and we need all the precious time that we can get. So that's my hope today, that I will be able to teach you at least 4 different tech tools to use when communicating with technology. So a little bit about me. I am currently working as an assistant professor of education at Mayville State University, my alma mater. Go Comets. I'm happy to be back here educating teachers. I teach the elementary methods classes as well as the Intro to Ed and educational technology courses. I have history teaching 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, so I'm an elementary teacher by trade. I have a lot of experience using technology. I found that it's very engaging for my learners, and as I said before, it makes my teaching more efficient and students' learning more effective as well. So that's kind of some background information about me. Some objectives that I hope to obtain in the next couple minutes here. This is a 75-minute session, I believe. I'll probably talk with you and give you some information for about 20 or 30 of those minutes, and then the rest of the time will be based on Donnelly's calculations, or however she wants to give you time to work on your, some teacher time to work on whatever you're studying this week. So really the objectives of this session are to be able to explain the importance of communicating with parents using technology. So communication is really broad. We can do lots of different things with technology as it applies to communicating, but this specific session is going to focus on communicating with parents. So how can I get parents involved? How can I communicate with them? How can they know that I support them, and how can I get them to support me in all the hard work I'm doing in my classroom? I also want to have you be able to identify various tech tools to use that will help you efficiently and effectively communicate with parents, and then we're going to explore some. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. This picture is meant to represent myself as a 3rd grader. So I remember as a 3rd grader waiting outside in the hallway when my mom was doing parent-teacher conferences, because it was only twice a year that my parents got to talk to my teacher. And I think that is such a shift from what we're seeing today. Parents are constantly connected using technology, and they expect to know what's going on in their children's classrooms. And what better way to get them on your side, supporting you, than to share with them all the wonderful things that you're doing. So we don't want parents just coming in for parent-teacher conferences. We want to be communicating with them on a weekly and almost daily basis. So here's some important things to think about when we're using technology to communicate with parents. It gives us lots of different opportunities. So instead of just a phone call home or an email, the ways that I'm going to show you today are very quick, they're efficient, and parents have really good abilities to make connections with the teacher and the classroom using these tools. Parents also appreciate and then therefore support teachers who make consistent and meaningful communication a priority in the classroom. So parents know the difference between a teacher who really is trying to communicate with them and one who is not, and that transparency is where you take care of those issues so they don't arise, or you address them right away so you don't have those parent issues. It saves you valuable time, so I'll show you some ways to do that. And then again, that transparency and access so that parents know what's going on. They can have a seat in that classroom. So those are some reasons why we should have parent communication. Here are the 4 tech tools that I'm going to share with you today. The first one is Jing, and what I've done here is I've ordered them in such a way that I think the first one is the simplest to set up, is the easiest to use, working our way down. The 4th one, Seesaw, not difficult to set up, not difficult to use. It just takes a little bit more time to learn how to use it. So I wanted to briefly show you 4 different things that I've used in my classroom, in my teaching, that have really made a world of difference when communicating with parents and just communicating with students as well. So the first one is Jing. there's a little screenshot here that just shows different ways to use Jing. One of my favorite ways to use Jing in my classroom was when I had the newsletter pulled up on my computer as a PDF, I would quickly give the parents like a 60-second rundown of all the things that they needed to know, and then once a week I would email that out to parents so they would know what's going on. I use it in the college classroom to give directions on an assignment, or to, if a student misses class, to kind of walk through what that looks like. Completely free. I don't use tech tools that aren't free, so everything I'm sharing with you today is a free tool. So here's some other ways that you can use Jing in your classroom. And basically what Jing is it's a screen recording or screen capture software. So you install it on your computer, and it houses everything that you saved on a website, and then you can get URLs that you can send to parents and students as well. So again, you can use it for live demonstrations, tutorials walking through how to do something, some assignment tips, or some homework. And one of my favorite ways to use it is at the college level, and probably at the middle and high school level too, is to give your students feedback. So instead of typing a ton of notes on the side, comments, I simply give them, I have the free account, so it gives them 5 minutes total. My videos can be 5 minutes. I give them that feedback, audio, send them the link, and they can listen to that feedback as well. So I'll show you what Jing looks like here. That's a little handout I have. And then this is my Jing account, and I have had it for 4 years, and just this semester, about a week ago, it said, you're reaching your capacity. So it took me 4 years to reach my capacity, and I went through and just kept the videos that I wanted to save. So it's super easy. There's this little thing that you can see pop up on the top of my screen, and all I have to do is select it, select what I want to talk about, and then I can either take a picture of it, I can record a video, or I can just cancel that. So like I said, it's a 5-minute video that you can use to talk about anything you'd like. Once you load it, it loads to screencastify.com, and then it gives you a URL that you can copy and paste however you'd like to use that. So again, Jing is super easy to install, super easy to set up, super easy to use, like 2 clicks and you're done. So that was the first one that I wanted to share with you. The second tech tool that I find very easy to use and very effective is called Remind. And I'm surprised at how many people haven't heard of Remind. When I ask in my college classroom, a lot of them have. A lot of their coaches and teachers in high school used it. But I think at the elementary level, you could also use it for notifying parents on important things that are going on. So I have a little link here, and I'll share this presentation with you, and Donnelly can pass it your way so you can have all of my links and all my information. But there's a little blog here that I found. And really, what I've tried to do in this presentation is take all the time that it takes a teacher to search through all of these things. So in the honor of teacher time, which is the title of this workshop, I thought I'm going to take the time away from searching and finding the best tools and where to find them and where to go. So I've tried to put everything in one place for you to kind of organize it there. So Remind is an app, and what happens is, for example, you would pull it up at open house when the parents come in, or you would send a piece of paper, a flyer home that said, text this number with this code, and it automatically enrolls the parents or the students into your Remind class. It does not allow you to share cell phone numbers, so you don't see the parents or students' cell phone numbers, they don't see yours. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from your computer. I'll show you how I've used it in the college classroom. So I pulled it up, they had to type in the code. It took about 10 seconds for them to join the class. All they have to do is send a text message to a certain number. You can add people if they're not able to text it. I did have one student who did not have a smartphone, and we were able to hook it up to his email. So it works that way as well. So what I do for this class, I simply just gave reminders when homework was due. It was an ed tech class, so I tried to remind them, hey, this is what's due tomorrow, make sure you got it done. But you could use it in many different ways. Here's a blog created by a teacher. So as a teacher, you could give homework reminders, calendar updates, and I've included all of this in my presentation. So I think it's pretty neat. But the ones that I wanted to highlight, for example, volunteers. So if you need something or someone to come into your classroom and volunteer, you can simply send out a message. Parents can respond back to you. It's a very simple way. It archives everything, so you're able to go back and look at messages. So instead of sending a ton of emails back and forth, you can send text messages. And research says that parents are more likely to check their phones than they are to check their emails, so it's important to connect with phones as well. So if there's no school, usually schools have a system that sends out a reminder, but it's also a nice way just to remind them if there's not school or if there's an early out. You could certainly use that as well. If there's parent-teacher conferences and you want to remind specific parents that they have to come to conferences on Tuesday night, you could select just those parents to send the message to. So like I said, I'm not going to give you, read all of these for you because you can dig into them yourself, but I just thought Remind is one of the simplest tech tools I've ever used to communicate with parents, and it's just super efficient, and it keeps track of all of the communication so that if you ever need it for legal reasons or other reasons, you can access that. So like I said, Jing and Remind maybe take less than 5 minutes each to set up, and you can use them efficiently for the rest of your school year and beyond. The third one takes a little bit more time to set up and to update, but it's a great way to communicate with parents and to have everything kind of in one place. So Weebly for Education. So Weebly is a website creator, a completely free website creator, and I have an example pulled up here, and you can kind of see the screenshot here. It's a little tiny, but this person has created or collected all of the Weebly teacher sites from grades K all the way up to high school. So I'm going to open up this page. If you clicked on that link, you would get to this page. And he's pulled up, like I said, he's organized kindergarten teachers. He's got first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade teachers, different websites that they've created using Weebly. So you can kind of get an idea of the examples of how to create a website, how to name it, what to include on your website. A couple of the high school ones that I wanted to share with you are Mr. Mason's class, so he teaches physics. He's got some background information here. He's got different assignments that he wants students to complete, so where they can get all of that information. He's got useful links, so if they need something while they're working at home, they can go right to his Weebly website and get that information. I thought Coach 44, Mr. Klein, was also, he's a math teacher, I think, and he's got a blog that he writes. He's got important websites to take a peek at. That it just houses it all in one place. So your school will likely have a website that they pay for, but Weebly makes it a free website that's accessible to parents who have the link. And you could use the Remind or Jing to talk about your Weebly website. I think it's a great way to communicate with parents. So like I said, any grade level you could possibly imagine, you can get some examples from, take a look at. I just would highly recommend you checking it out. It takes not much time at all. I would say you could create a website maybe in 15 minutes with the headings that you wanted, and then it takes a little bit of time, obviously, to upload things, but it's very customizable. It's very easy to use. You drag, drop, delete text, enter text. There's lots of templates to use. So Weebly education websites are definitely something I would recommend for you to use in your work with communicating with parents. And the last one that I've had lots of luck with, and that my college students actually got to try with third graders this semester, and all of the feedback was, it is so easy to use, and it is so engaging for students. They love to use it. They love to check it out. So Seesaw is an app that you can have on your smartphone. You can put it on your iPad. You can use it as a web interface. Lots of different ways to use Seesaw. And I'm going to run out of time here because I only get 15 minutes on my free Screen-O-Matic screen capture software. So I'm going to pause this video and hop back into the next one in just a few seconds. Hold on.